Okay, everybody, we're going to just look at one futures product today. That's going to be silver futures. And I want to talk about this just briefly because we talked about this a few days ago. We're going to talk about it again because we're really seeing something here that I want to share with everybody. And today is April 7th, and we are at the 5:30 hour. So this is Sunday, April 7th. We just started the open session for the week. Okay, Sunday night. Here at H&J, we tend to trade the 1,000 ounce silver futures, but it doesn't really matter which particular product you trade in silver. The prices are all approximately the same, right? Okay, so in front of you, we're looking at the daily chart for silver. And there's a few things I want to point out here that are really, really important and where we think silver is going to be headed over the next, let's say week or two. Okay. So last time I talked about this descending triangle, but before we get into that, I want to show you all. You'll see that these yellow arcs here, cycle analysis, and cycle analysis where the two arcs meet, that's where the low will be for the price, okay? And you can see for sure there's a low here, there's a low right here. So this day is a 1 day past the ideal low, but close enough. Here another low, and here pretty close to the low, even though this day over here beat it. But you can tell it's obvious the price came down right here, right? So if you look at these cycles, they're very obvious, right? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 cycles have been very accurate right on the button as far as where the low is. But there's something I want to point out here that's really, really important. Okay, if you look at the beginning of this cycle right here, which was January 22nd of 2019, you'll notice that at the beginning of this cycle, the price for silver went up aggressively, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? 5 days of upward pricing. Let's look at the beginning of the next cycle. It did the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. The price went up aggressively. See that? So it matched the beginning of the cycle. The beginning of the cycle meaning if you get to the top of this arc, before that point, all on the left side of this arc, the price is moving up aggressively. It did it on this cycle, did it on this cycle. Let's look at the next one. It did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Okay. Three really solid days in the doji, or almost like a gravestone. Okay. Let's look at this cycle. This cycle didn't do that at all, did it? Look, it just went sideways. The price on silver went sideways. We're going to talk about these 3 candlesticks here in a moment too, because they are significant. Okay, let's go all the way back to this cycle. Look at the momentum. The momentum went from right on the oversold to above overbought. We use the SMI here at H&J, Stochastic Momentum Index. Okay, nice, good separation between these 2 lines. Very aggressive upward pricing match. Momentum's going up. This cycle, not quite as strong, but momentum still went up. This cycle, momentum going up. Okay, not on this cycle. Momentum is going up, but pricing is not matching the momentum. There's something else I want to show you that's really important. So I want you all to see I want you all to understand what we've talked about so far. We talked about how pricing went up at the beginning of these cycles. Here, 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 but not on this one. There's something else I want to point out that's really important. You need to understand this. This momentum peak is well above the overbought line. This one's not. It touched it, slightly above it. This one's slightly below it. See that? See how the peaks keep getting lower? The momentum peak, look at this momentum peak over here. It's even higher, right? Can you see this? Not only do we see these cycles, there's also a cyclicality in this case. This doesn't always happen, but right now it's happening. There's a cyclicality to the strength of the momentum. This peak is higher than this peak. This peak is higher than this peak. This peak is higher than this peak. What do you think is going to happen over here? Well, we don't know for sure. Okay? We don't know for sure. But everything is pointing towards silver not having a very sustained momentum. Okay? Based on these descending peaks as they're coming down, and the pricing is not matching this momentum. Okay? Okay, so all right, so that's what. Let's move on to more. This whole video is about evidence and data suggesting that silver is going to come down, right? Significantly come down. Okay. So let's look now at where we're at here the last 5 or 10 trading days of thereabouts. We can see that Hall moving average is negative, right? We can see that the pricing is well below the middle line on the volatility band, right? Purple, gray, and light blue. So we're well below this middle gray line on volatility. That's important. Okay? So volatility is on this side of the band, the low side. We're one deviation approximately below where would be what we consider just standard or trading right down the middle, so to speak, volatility-wise. Okay. The 3 EMA, which is this red line, is below the 8. It crossed over back here on March 26th and 27th. The 3 exponential moving average crossed below the 8. That is always, at H&J, that is a significant indicator. We use that a lot. Okay, very significant. Okay, so let's look at these 3 candlesticks right here. We have a hammer. We have this, a doji that's like like a cross. Okay, we have another hammerish looking doji here with a really long lower shadow. These are very telling candlesticks. They usually suggest there's going to be a change in direction of the price. But since the pricing came down, normally we would look at this type of candlesticks to suggest the price is going to change and go up. But it didn't do that this time. Yeah, it didn't do it at all. Look over here, back over here now. You see this doji, kind of almost a gravestone looking doji, suggestive that the pricing's, the direction of the pricing is becoming exhausted. From way over here to down here, it got exhausted, and then 2 days later it was done and it went up, right? So candlesticks can tell you a lot. Here's another one way over here. Okay, look at that doji. And sure enough, there was a change in price, but it didn't happen here. These 3 candlesticks would normally give you an indication the price is going to change from going down to up, but it didn't happen. And why not? Because look at this big pattern here. A descending triangle, meaning lower highs and lower lows. See that? Both lines are trending down. A descending triangle. Okay. And, I didn't extend these lines out too much further than where they're at right here, because the end of this cycle is about 417, 418, somewhere in that area. Okay. So I know this video is getting kind of long, but really important to understand that we are now right here today on April 8th. We are exactly the midway point through this cycle. Okay. So H&J is going to continue to watch silver very, very closely. Sure, it could break out. It could go up. It could finally respond to what momentum's kind of suggesting that the price is going to go up. But we have not seen any significant price moving upward in silver since, back here on March 29th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now our 7th trading day. Okay, since then. So lots of evidence that this price will come down. If we just come over here at the end of this cycle, the low, we have a price of about 1481. Now, I don't know if we'll get down to that or not, but pretty sure that if silver does what we think it's going to do, it's going to go below 15 bucks. It's going to go below 14.90 even. It's going to be somewhere at least in the 14.80s. So that's what we think is going to happen. We're not going to give you trading advice. We're not going to tell you to place a trade, when, where, or how. We're simply sharing with you what we are keeping an eye on, and we're getting ready for a short position. And if it comes to pass that sure enough, momentum, and I want to give a shout out to Steve Miller over at AskSlim.com. Lately, he's been saying momentum is king, and he's absolutely right, guys and gals. Got to keep an eye on momentum. Okay, no matter what all these other indicators, exponential moving averages, candlesticks, and everything are telling you, it's when momentum changes, that's when you start to get ready to take on positions. Okay, that's all we're going to share with you today. We hope you're all going to have a great trading week. We'll talk to you again real soon.